You are listening to the Two and Out CFL podcast, a proud member of the Canadian Football Podcast Network.
Grab some poutine and a double-double. It's time for the Two and Out CFL podcast.
He's got it! Oh, baby!
Every week, Travis Kura.
That's Grey Cup me, which is a different person.
And Brazilian Tide.
Hunters are people too.
Talk fantasy football, bring you the latest in CFL news, and sprinkle in a little bit of nonsense.
Oh, nearly intercepted and it's over!
Ready, set, hunt!
And we are part of the Alberta Podcast Network, locally grown, community supported. My name's Travis Kura. We got a fun episode today. 5-year CFL vet Justin Renfrow is on the show, most recently with the Edmonton Elks. He's also the host of What's Cooking JR, featuring all these great local restaurants and all the good eats you can handle. You can check it out on his YouTube channel, Instagram page as well. Oh, I'm already hungry. It's perfect for a post-Thanksgiving episode. I hope you got your stretchy pants on. I hope you got a nice, warm, soft place to nap from all that turkey over the weekend. We're all gonna be hungry right away here. This episode of Two and Out brought to you by Alberta Blue Cross, and Alberta Blue Cross understands that running a small business is tough, and they understand that business owners in Alberta are busy. So let Alberta Blue Cross give you peace of mind with a group benefit plan. They offer health, dental, life, and disability coverage for your employees. Alberta Blue Cross group benefit plans are easy to manage, anywhere, anytime, and on any device, making it easy for you and your employees to access. To learn more and explore your options, head to ab.bluecross.ca. Let's get to my conversation with Justin Renfrow. And joining the show right now is, 5-year veteran of the CFL, member of the 2018 Grey Cup team with the Calgary Stampeders, Justin Renfrow. Thanks for coming on the show, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Now, you spent the past year or so in Edmonton, and I guess the time with the Elks coming to an end last month. You're still there, still gas in the tank. I do have to ask at least one football question, or what's the status of that?
I just went back to training recently at EATS, Elite Athlete Training Systems. Really, I followed the cooking stuff strong, and having an injury last year, I definitely wasn't prepared for this season and didn't train properly. So, just gonna do that and let the cards fall how they may, and just enjoy my time in Edmonton.
Well, and the place is called Eats, and that's kind of why I wanted you on the show. You got the new YouTube series. You've got all that great Instagram content. The username on Zoom is What's Cooking JR. Where did this passion for food really come from?
So, the passion for food's always been there, but I think it kind of got highlighted, or I got shown that this could be something when I was on the Seahawks. Coming off of the we went to the Super Bowl, lost in that game, but coming back the next year in the offseason and OTAs, the Snyder family has a benefit dinner. And usually the draw is the players are your waiters, and we all wait on these donors who pay thousands for these tickets. Well, everybody on the team, same way I'm doing here. I've been cooking for guys. A lot of us, 10 of us all lived in the same building with the community barbecue. So people would just bring food down and kind of throw in, and I would cook up for everybody. And so when we were at this restaurant, everybody's like, "Oh, don't have them cook the steaks. Renfrow's got to cook the steaks." Oh. And so I ended up at this dinner. I ended up cooking 100 steaks for this benefit dinner. And, people were like, "Oh, man, you should do this other places." And so COVID hit. I was signed to Edmonton. I had been in Edmonton the 2 weeks prior to COVID hitting.
Oh, wow.
I was here, and I was checked into the facility, moved some boxes into the locker, was preparing to train at Eats that year. And then, everybody knows what happened with COVID. So, but during that time, I had plenty of free time. I was at home, where I know a lot of people, and a lot of people needed help with their small businesses getting to the next level during COVID in a transitional period, transitioning, to basically fully take out, some places in my area did the outdoor thing, but that was tough in the wintertime,
Yeah, no doubt.
Philly still gets cold. You don't want to be outside in Philly in October, November, December eating as well. So, it was a way to kind of help a couple friends. My boy Vinny and his family, they've let me use their kitchen countless times, even after filming the show, kind of to do content while home and help me build this while in the Philadelphia area. But yeah, just filming with people I knew, Pines Tavern as well back home. They gave me a opportunity in their kitchen, and then places across the country. My third episode was with the Michelin star chef in San Francisco. So,
That's cool.
uh, doing that, then did the Top Oyster House, New Orleans, and then football season picked back up last year, and it was tough with COVID going on, but
Yeah.
I really had a passion for it. And, the CFL keeps talking about when we were doing these bargaining agreements and stuff, they're like, they need us as players to kind of bring fans and draw fans. And I was like, doing my show and bringing different guys as guests. I've even caught up with some guys in the off season in their respective cities. And that's where I have the dream of this going, kind of being a TSN or a CFL, CFL online content thing where I travel around and still catching up with a lot of guys I've played with. Like if you look across the league now, Toronto is basically all the guys I played with in
Yeah.
2018. Montreal is most of the Edmonton guys I've been against. Ottawa, you got the trickle of BC and Calgary guys I've played with. So I know guys across the league, and I think it could be something, to engage fans. Everybody likes to eat, and I have been finding some good food, even showing guys who are new to Canada too. That's another thing why I try to bring my teammates over there, try to get, everybody doesn't get out. Everybody doesn't have cars. I pick guys up, take them to a spot they've probably never been to, or just getting them a solid meal that's not takeout on Uber Eats.
Yeah.
And so, it's been able to be something that's done all those things, and being able to interact with the community and the local businesses and the local fans in there. I think it's funny. Pretty much most of the times I'm going out here, we got Edmonton fans, but I got a 2018 Grey Cup ring with Calgary and different things like that. And almost everywhere you go, somebody tells me they're a Saskatchewan fan as well. So it's always fun, but everybody's embracing kind of the bond over food, and that's something that has kind of stuck with me since college. Always cooking for different guys. Just the way you show the easiest way to show you care about somebody, giving them a solid meal on a date. And so, just trying to build on that and continue to build on that with this show.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, at a deeper level, like, what does food mean to you? And it sounds kind of cheesy, but I truly feel it's the best way to show that you do care about somebody. Like if my mom's having a birthday and I put time in to bake and decorate a cake, man, and to see that she enjoys it, it means, I think, just as much to me that she loved it, that
Yeah.
to her that I made it. So, I mean, is this something that you grew up with, big family dinners and things like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, definitely. My grandma's house, when I was really young, that would be something. My parents would drop me off there on Saturdays, and she would cook up a storm while they got to go out for a little bit. And so, I wasn't necessary, and you don't realize you're learning, but
Yeah.
every Saturday for 6 years, you're in the kitchen next to somebody as they're making you different food that becomes some of your favorite foods. You pick up on stuff, you learn techniques, you learn that way to do it. And so same thing when I'm traveling to these different restaurants, everybody's got a new technique, everybody's got a new flair to teach me, new tricks, make me look fancy on camera. So it's always fun.
I still find it tough to learn from grandmas though, because you ask them a recipe and it's like, I don't know.
I don't know. I just put some of it in there. Yeah.
How am I supposed to replicate that?
Well, what's some of it? Turn it a little bit.
And I guess that's when the main ingredient is love, right? That's what grandma will always tell you. How honest I feel like bringing food into a football locker room, that's probably the perfect place to bring some new creations. But are guys pretty honest? I tell you what, if I make a dish for my wife, she's extremely honest. If it's not good, she tells me. And if it is good, she's still pretty tough to tell me.
I'll be honest. I haven't brought any dish that I didn't have super confidence in.
Nice.
I don't even bring into the locker room. I did. You saw I brought a couple dishes out to
that brisket grilled cheese, man.
Yeah. I brought a couple things out. So I'm lucky enough to say right now I'm batting 100. I have been nervous. Sometimes I don't know. Every time I cook, I'm just like, oh, what if it's not good enough? And then I like, oh man, this is good. Okay, this is really good.
I actually feel it's like putting yourself out there like a musician. You know what I mean? Like you think the song's good, but as soon as somebody else hears it, oh boy.
That's how I especially feel when for me, I don't try to make content of grilled chicken and broccoli. I'm making these stuffed chickens, and I definitely get nervous about that, making some of these complex dishes. Like tomorrow, I'm doing a stuffed baked potato with beef brisket.
Ooh.
And so, it's combining a lot of bad things, but it's good.
So how would you describe the food scene in Canada, maybe even particularly Alberta? I know Alberta's very proud of their beef, but I'm not sure how I would describe Canada's food identity. Even the States, you got Cajun, you got Southern, you got all this sorts of things. But what about
its own unique, I would say, it's traditional but healthy. Always a lot of clean ingredients, a lot of fresh ingredients, and people are taking pride in the product they're putting out.
And I see the farm to table thing is huge right now.
So I just did shout out to Mel, Dark Side of the Grill. My opinion, and so it was my opinion for the 2 weeks that this episode's been out that he was the best in Canada. But he just went this past weekend to the Kansas City barbecue and finished top 14 in the world. So he is the best in Canada barbecue, and he really farm to table is something. We don't even film episodes every time we hang out. We just hang and sometimes and eat. And he really showed me that. He brought me out to an event with Save On Foods in Red Deer. We were with the lady who raised the steaks that we were. She raised the cattle that these steaks were. And so that is the cool part of being in Alberta. You can go farm to table. I think that was one thing I was going to say to you. That's what I think would be unique to this region, though. Because, you just can't do that because there's no farm in Toronto like that.
Right.
A big city. But Alberta, there's a ton of beef. And I've also been surprised you can find good oysters and seafood here. Black Pearl Seafood's doing a great job in Edmonton. I did an episode. Mike Moore, Kwaku Boateng came with me, and we had oysters, lobster, scallops, everything. And this guy brings them in on FedEx. He
Oh,
FedEx
wow.
he FedEx the seafood in. So if you go there, your seafood's only been in Edmonton for 2 days or less, and it's out of the water probably 3 days or less.
Wow.
And so that's top quality. So seeing things like that, and then the barbecue scene, because like you said, this being Alberta and having the beef, the barbecue scene, and the amount of people just every he might not be a restaurant. He might not have a restaurant. He barbecues at home and just makes.
Yeah.
But there are people, everyday people in Edmonton throwing down some food. And so, I thought it's a good way to connect with different people in a new city I'm in. And then also it's turning out to be a good way, for these restaurants to connect with kind of my fan base, people who follow me, but also just people around, Instagram doing the reels and YouTube doing the reels. I'm starting to do that stuff now more and more, and it spreads to people. And so I started this out as something. I said, hey, I want to give it a shot, and now it's like, yeah, now I'm into it, and I spend my time traveling and doing this and reaching out to restaurants and trying to take it to the next level.
Man, the Elks even had that watch party on the field, and you were cooking up a storm there. So,
yeah, that was actually James Wilder. That was his wife.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That was Wilder's wife's birthday. And
Awesome.
Victor has been really supportive of me, and he's a great guy. And so he was he allowed us to use that kind of area. He allowed me to come
Oh, cool.
grill and cook in there. And so, yeah, and he's going to be, be on the lookout. He'll be on an upcoming episode as well
Nice.
on my show. So, yeah, trying to just following all my passions and putting them together, and it's fun.
Is there a type of cuisine that you gravitate towards, like a Mexican, an Italian, a Thai, or all of the above sort of thing?
I'm an all of above guy, but I don't know, barbecue, sushi, and seafood have been like
Surf and turf.
yeah, you go to a new city, but Toronto, I've done barbecue. Hendrix, I'm gonna do some stuff with Hendrix Steakhouse out there. Done it barbecue in Boston, barbecue in New Orleans, barbecue in Edmonton a few times. So I think that's a big one. But I think those are also the people who, like, if you look when you putting out content, when I put out barbecue content, people are looking for it.
Oh, and I think it's the impressive nature of, like, when you see a rack of ribs or you see a hunk of brisket, like when you see that on social media, like I can feel like I'm salivating right now, and that stuff translates so well. Do you have a style of barbecue? Because I've started to play a little bit, and you look at the Texas, and really all they do is salt and pepper, but then some other places they really dig into the sauces and things like that.
So it's definitely like it's depends on what I'm doing with the final product. Like if I'm just eating the steak, if I'm just eating a steak, all right, yeah, I'll probably salt and pepper, maybe a little Montreal steak, which has a little peppercorn, a little bit more, but it's not too much. But if like boom, like I'm doing the beef brisket, grilled cheese, or something like that, I'm gonna season that because that's going through a couple processes.
Yeah.
Want it to clash with the cheese and the garlic flavors that's going to be in there as well. And you want that barbecue saucy flavor to really stick out. So yeah, it just depends on what you're going for, and you just make the dish. You want to always make the dish flavorful, and you want to always season. That's what I go for.
It's funny because even working with the radio station, every summer we would go to people's houses every second week and barbecue for 20 people. And one of the most challenging things is that you cook steak for 20 people. They want it done 20 different ways. So the pressure sometimes you can feel some pressure. So how do you apply your football self to your cooking self?
I think people in Alberta, though, most people eat a medium steak and they want pink. It's when you start leaving Alberta that it gets tough. It gets tough for people. Yeah. Like Toronto, you got people on well done steaks, no pink. I'm like, no pink. What are you talking about there? So it's like things like that, but it's it's always fun to get opportunity to cook for somebody.
Of course. Now, I am planning a trip to Philadelphia in 2024.
Okay.
And I am guessing that there are some Philly cheesesteak places that maybe don't get the love that they should. So give me some suggestions of where I should go in Philly.
You definitely gotta go up to the East Falls area. It's by where I went to high school, my private school, the William Penn Charter School. Go over there to the East Falls area, and you're gonna go right across the street from each other. You got D'Alessandro's and Chubby's. Now, D'Alessandro's, even during COVID, wasn't taking phone orders. You had to come and line up, and the lineup was around the block. You had to come line up. You couldn't come inside.
Yeah.
You standing outside. You order here. You pick up here. You outside the whole time, and it was still around the block. People waiting an hour for a steak sandwich. So you got D'Alessandro's, who's like classic Philly, and then you got Chubby's, who's good. And me being a high schooler, D'Alessandro's doesn't do fries, so we used to go to Chubby's just for fries. And and what we would do was we'd go to D'Alessandro's, split the sandwich, and then go to Chubby's, split the sandwich, and get the curly fries. Maybe
that's smart.
You can do the same thing. You got somebody with you and get you a fruit punch on the side. They got good fruit punch. And I would say that was the key to me getting big and strong in high school.
So you could go, if you had your lunch money or whatever, you could go there every day if you wanted at lunch or probably after school.
Once I was a junior, you were allowed off privilege to drive.
Right.
So you go drive right over there, get that good cheesesteak. We would go mostly on Fridays,
Yeah.
And that was Fridays too. Hopefully you didn't have to come back for school. Try to make sure your schedule. I don't got nothing in the afternoon.
Man, yeah, I'm gonna have to revisit this. So WrestleMania 40 is gonna be in Philly, so that's why I'm planning that trip to go to Philadelphia, PA. Now the Grey Cup coming up in Regina. You told me that maybe you want to go there and do some cooking as well. Like, now people look at Regina and they say, there's nothing going on there, but there's some good food joints there.
So I actually already did one episode there.
Nice.
Last year, did the burrito tacos out there. Man, that was good. Authentic, only authentic Mexican in Regina.
Wow.
Right there down the street from the stadium. I went there on the bye week and shot with them. So definitely food there. And always, and for me too, that's why again I say it's like a fan interaction thing too. Like, you saw I'll be releasing this week. We called it the Legends episode. Me, Manny, and Matt O'Donnell went to O2s, and we kicked off the start of the NFL season.
Nice.
First NFL Sunday, got some food, I cooked up some food for the guys. We'll have you, hopefully you guys tune in to see what we cooked up, and yeah, had some fun. So yeah, sometimes it's about the atmosphere. So really hoping that I could get something done with the CFL or TSN, kind of have some guys sit down with me and cook some food with the Grey Cup, and get some inside look to that kind of week. I think it's pretty cool because I've been on both sides, so I've seen the Super Bowl side and I've seen the Grey Cup side. So and being in both of those kind of media weeks and stuff, I think it would be a good addition to that. So
well, as a player, how do you compare those 2 weeks? Like, I feel like it would be perfect for the Grey Cup. I mean, Matt Dunnigan's a big barbecue guy himself. I mean,
I've seen he's done a couple things. I did the barbecue thing with I think it was Sobeys in Red Deer. So yeah, that would be fun. Put a couple steaks, grill guys with a couple questions. Definitely something I'm interested in. I know there's other competitions that fans hold outside, maybe some fan tailgates too. So it would be just cool. This is something I'm really just trying to bring to the CFL and start really getting fans engaged. It's a cool league. I think it was a great opportunity that I took 5 years ago, and I'm happy I did, and kind of just want to start showcasing it because a lot of people from home are always curious. I put a video up today of my summer of food. This is the first summer I really went on a food adventure, and people are like, wow, I'm cooking at a lot of places. I'm like, yeah, I guess, yeah, I kind of am. And so it's people are following along, gaining 10,000 people in a few months just from cooking food and stuff like that. So yeah, just trying to keep it going.
I want to ask you now, this episode's going to be released just after Canadian Thanksgiving. How would you compare Canadian Thanksgiving versus Thanksgiving at home? Because it seems like, I mean, we love our turkey and stuffing and all that kinds of things. And I have a Ukrainian background, so some people might look at my Thanksgiving plate and be like, what are the pierogies and cabbage rolls? What's going on there?
So that's what I was going to say. Canadian Thanksgiving, I do both now. But
nice.
I think of Canadian Thanksgiving, I don't do the usual because I think of it, Canadian Thanksgiving is like a potluck. Because it symbolizes what Canada is like. There are a lot of races of people in Canada I never would have interacted with at home, and a lot of it's just because you wouldn't find that person in Philly or Pennsylvania,
right?
And so you find everybody here, and I think that's kind of what the Thanksgiving symbolizes, But last year we did have a turkey still, but I think we had brisket. I think we had some pork. I did a seared pork along with the mac and cheese. We had Popeye's chicken and some other we had a good little spread. And I guess it's because of who was in my building, but Sir Vincent came, Moncrief was over, a couple other guys, everybody came through, and we just had a good Thanksgiving. And a lot of guys came through who a lot of people I promised all season I would cook for them. So I finally cooked for them for the Thanksgiving, so it's again, another way, camaraderie, just be tighter with guys, another memory, a football memory you share,
What's Justin Renfrow doing with leftover turkey?
What would I do with leftover turkey?
Hey, I'm fine with throwing it on a bun with mayo and mustard and salt and pepper, but there's got to be something more.
I would probably create some type of different way to use the turkey. Probably probably figure out some way to like stuff something
Nice.
with the turkey and then caramelized onions. Probably put it in a pepper. Slice, put it in a bell pepper, put some peppers and onions and maybe create a little mayo type sauce. Kind of do it Italian grinder style, but you're using a turkey.
Oh, yeah. This sounds real. You could do a lot of things with that leftover bird. So, Instagram, where do you want people to find you and all this mouth-watering content?
Instagram, j.renfrow. So that's j.renfrow. And then at the JR Network as well. So at the JR Network. And so that's where you'll see the content, and then go like and subscribe on the YouTube, and and then tag the CFL and tag TSN and videos that you like. Tell them that you want to see the content, and that's I'll be around highlighting good food. And the big thing is, no matter what city people are in, if you go try something that you thought was banging, send me a DM. I check them pretty much. On Twitter, I'm at Renfrow Justin. I see tweets too, so I try to answer people. I'm this week looking for top food trucks in Edmonton to try to do some content with the food trucks to get them some content over the winter while it's a little tougher for them. So trying to do something like that. And, people throughout Edmonton have reached out and told me their different food trucks and the different places they've liked. So it's always cool to get the input of the people that are from here and from the different cities. So I'll be traveling this winter, so I'll be all over Canada. So
I just want to throw while I got a local recommendation. There's a place in Lacombe and Red Deer called Cilantro and Chive.
Okay, so yeah, I've messaged to get something going. Hopefully, I hope to do that episode and have Tanner Green, since he's from Lacombe.
Yeah.
I hope to have him as my guest on that one and, see what they're cooking out there. Yeah, I'm on it. I'm on that one. Yeah.
Like they give you this Caesar, but on top of the Caesar, you can get like a burger that's taller. Yeah, it's good stuff there. Yeah, that's good now, is this show going to be your goal going forward, or maybe you have a barbecue stand, a food truck in your future, or what do you kind of?
Right now, I'm gonna focus hard on training this off season. I'll come back, have one more good season, wherever that might be, and then the goal is I really want to bring this show, kind of do commentating / doing the cooking show with players, kind of helping guys. Also, I feel like it's a way to help guys get into the new city they're in. Come interact with some people in a restaurant and things like that. Because most of the places I go to, we end up being friends with those people, and they're telling you to come back. I just went to PF Chang's the other day. They're like, anytime, come back. Just give us 30 minutes notice. And so,
oh wow,
you do a good service to people and you treat people with respect, and it goes a long way. So just trying to keep that up and put the CFL and the players in the CFL in a good light. And we'll see what comes of that.
Man, I love this. Everybody likes to meet over some good food, and we got some new players coming up north and get to feature them and the food at the same time. I think this is
local
awesome.
Businesses,
Yeah. I love this. What's cooking, JR? Justin Renfrow, thanks for coming on the show to talk about this food. I got to go eat some supper now, man.
I appreciate you having me, and I think we'll have to get you out soon. Get you on an episode when we cook.
Yeah. I'll see you at Cilantro and Chive, man.
Okay, sounds good.
Have a great day.
Dinner. All right. Thank you.
Thanks again to Justin Renfrow for coming on the show and making us all hungry. I'm looking forward to new episodes coming down the pipe of What's Cooking JR. Check it out on YouTube and Instagram. I know we got to get a good community of CFL fans going, and then, hey, maybe we can all get together and have some good eats sometime soon. This episode of Two and Out is brought to you by Park Power. I hate to say it, but winter's coming. Okay, you gotta want to make sure you're going to get the best rates possible. Park Power is your friendly local utilities provider in Alberta. They offer internet, electricity, and natural gas with low rates, awesome service, and profit sharing with local charities. So as energy usage will be increasing in the near future, maybe take a look at your utility bill and make sure you can be on the best plan possible. You have a choice to who to pay your utility bills to, and Park Power is happy to provide free, no obligations comparisons. If you decide to switch providers, it's easy, and you can feel good knowing you're supporting a local business and helping to give back to our communities with your utilities bills. You can learn more at parkpower.ca. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Two and Out. Week 19 of the CFL season is on the horizon. We'll be back with the preview for the games coming up this weekend on Thursday. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening. Find more great shows like this at CF Pod Network on Twitter.